Kevin Owens is the definition of work smarter, not harder. On SmackDown, Randy Orton and KO were tagging together. Owens desperately needed to tag in Randy, so rather than try to get to the opposite side of the ring, KO just left the ring and ran to the other side to tag in the Viper. A simple but very effective move.
That's high IQ, KO.
The Viper is pretty smart too. On SmackDown in February 2026, Orton was in a match with Solo Sikoa. Sikoa got into position to hit his finisher, the Samoan Spike, and was just waiting for Randy to turn around. Orton didn't do that. Instead, just hit an RKO and won the match. Edge, on the other hand, arguably came up with the best strategy to win a ladder match. On Raw in 2005, the Radar Superstar was facing Matt Hardy in a ladder match for Edge's Money in the Bank contract. Edge entered first, but instead of going to the ring, the Ultimate Opportunist hid in the corner of the entrance stage. Then, when Matt Hardy came out, Edge blindsided him and ran straight for the ladder. Matt recovered fast enough to stop Edge, but had the Radar Superstar beaten up Hardy a bit more, this could have been the shortest ladder match in WWE history. Now that was a smart way to win a ladder match. Here's a smart way to win a tables match. At the
I ain't gonna lie, Edge, you probably should have threw him off the stage, and maybe you could have got there, got up on the ladder and grabbed it, and you would have won. Threw him off the stage, that would have kept him down for a little bit.
Tables, Ladders, and Chairs pay-per-view, The Miz had his first big test as WWE Champion. The A-lister's opponent that night was the former champ, Randy Orton, and the two were fighting in a tables match. The Miz had Alex Riley in his corner, and during the match, the referee got knocked out of the ring. Orton then powerbombed Riley through a table, which led The Miz to hit the Viper.
Skull-crushing finale?
The Miz got Alex Riley out of the ring, and made it look like he had powerbombed Randy Orton through the table. The referee then got up, looked at the scene, and awarded The Miz the victory. Had Randy Orton taken a page out of Maven's book, things could have been much different.
Nah, that's
on
crazy.
Monday Night Raw, Maven found himself outnumbered when he took on Eugene, who was accompanied by William Regal. Maven thought outside the box and found a way to even the playing field.
Oh, look at that. Oh! The referee has ejected.
You're out of here!
That was John Cena who tripped Maven. Now this next moment was a big brain move. After years of hearing "you suck" every time he made his entrance, Kurt Angle decided to turn the tables.
These great SmackDown fans following Kurt Angle's lead from earlier tonight.
There are a lot of things you can say about Michael Cole, but dumb isn't one of them. During his rivalry with Jerry Lawler, the two were scheduled to face off in a tag team country whipping match. As you would expect, everyone had a whip that they could use. However, Cole was using his noggin and came to the match wearing bubble wrap. Yeah, he looked ridiculous, but it did work. Early in his WWE career, William Regal became infamous for using his brass knucks to cheat and win matches. However, the referees eventually caught on and started checking Regal before matches, but the Englishman was one step ahead of them. On SmackDown, William Regal was teaming with Kurt Angle. The referee checked Regal for brass knucks, but William Regal didn't have any. That's because he gave them to Kurt Angle, who gave the knucks back to Regal after the referee's inspection. Now this was so clever.
What? What was that?
He got him! That's it.
I don't know why more wrestlers don't do this. At an untelevised WWE show, John Cena and Rey Mysterio were having a match. Cena started running the ropes, so Mysterio just got out of the way and let John keep running. Not only did Rey get his breath, but the Doctor of Thugonomics exhausted himself, allowing Mysterio to capitalize. Eddie Guerrero was a master of bending the rules and thinking outside the box. During a triple threat match, Eddie and his valet Chyna hit a metal pipe inside a bouquet of flowers. Guerrero's opponents didn't suspect a thing until it was too late, and he won the match thanks to it. This wouldn't be the last time Eddie's creativity got him the W either. Years later, Eddie Guerrero was in a match against Roman Reigns' older brother, Luther Reigns. During the match, Eddie grabbed a chair and brought it into the ring. This was a classic Eddie Guerrero spot, but Guerrero wasn't just doing the same old trick. Before grabbing the chair, Eddie had stolen a baton from a security guard and hit him with his boot. When the referee was busy getting rid of the chair, Eddie took out the baton and hit Luther Reigns in the head. With his opponent out cold, Latino Heat hit the frog splash and won the match. However, Dominic Mysterio might have Eddie beat for the highest IQ move. While wrestling Penta, Dominic Mysterio ran out of the ring, grabbed his championship belt, and the timekeeper's hammer. Dom dropped the title, distracting the referee, and then hit Penta with the hammer, and doubled down by putting the hammer in his boot and hitting Penta with a 619. He is called Dirty Dom for a
Okay, Dominic, you out there looking like your pops, hitting a 619. He got 2 titles? When did this happen? I must be living under a rock when this happened. 2 titles? Oh yeah, he did recently have 2 titles. I forgot.
Now here's a really smart way to get out of a crossface.
Crossface is locked in. Look at Angle. Oh, Angle's got an ankle.
Oh, he got his ankle?
And Benoit finally breaks it.
Now, 1000 IQ moments don't just happen during matches. In the lead up to their fight at No Way Out, Stone Cold Steve Austin and Triple H had a contract signing. Part of the agreement was that neither man could attack the other until the No Way Out pay-per-view. Stone Cold and Triple H signed the contract, but then the game attacked Austin. After laying out the rattlesnake, Triple H revealed that he'd only pretended to sign the contract. After sharing that, the game agreed to the terms and conditions. Funny enough, decades later, Heyman and Adam Page would pull a similar move in AEW.
Tonight's stipulation was that you and I couldn't lay hands on one another. But Nana, they ain't said shit about us.
Oh, whoa, wait. Security!
Here's a question for ya. What would you be willing to do to win a match? Shawn Michaels gave his answer when he fought Goldust. The Heartbreak Kid didn't hit the bizarre one with a move, but instead, a kiss. Goldust enjoyed the
Flag on the play. You kissed him to win the match? Hold on. Did I hear this correct?
Didn't hit the bizarre one with a move, but instead, a kiss. Goldust enjoyed the surprise smooch, which allowed Michaels to hit Sweet Chin Music and win the match. Now this is a really effective way to counter the Green Mist.
Oscar.
Oh my goodness.
We all know that the only way to be eliminated from the Royal Rumble match is to be thrown over the top rope and have both feet touch the floor. So wouldn't the best strategy be to stay low and do nothing? Well, during the 2000 Royal Rumble match, someone did. Road Dogg entered at number 19, and almost immediately, he got on the mat and curled up in the corner. While the DOGG did take a few stomps, he managed to last an impressive 19 minutes before he stupidly got up, turned his back, and got eliminated. This next one really makes me wonder, why don't more wrestlers do this? During Rob Van Dam and Kane's run as a tag team, they found themselves in a match against Lance Storm and William Regal. At one point, Storm got behind Kane and twisted his mask. With the Big Red Machine unable to see, Storm shoved RVD into Kane, causing Kane to chokeslam his own tag team partner, which got Regal and Lance the win. While that was borderline cheating, how Becky Lynch won this match was perfectly legal.
Bailey stacks up Lyra. Becky from
One,
behind.
two.
Becky retains.
On a March 1999 episode of WCW Nitro, Bret Hart came out to the ring to trash talk Goldberg. So basically what Bret Hart does today. Hart challenged Goldberg to a fight, and Mr. Berg was happy to accept. Goldberg speared Bret Hart, but remained motionless after making contact with the Hitman. Bret got up, took off his shirt, and revealed that he wore a sheet of metal around his stomach, protecting himself and hurting Goldberg at the same time. Although, knowing Bret Hart, I think his main motive was to do as much damage as possible to Goldberg.
Oh, Goldberg, I ain't gonna lie, I thought the old man broke his back. I'm like, oh man, he done broke his back trying to spear somebody, but he had metal on his. That was smart. Okay.
Speaking of Bret, while a lot of wrestlers cheat behind the referee's back, Bret Hart went the extra mile. During a match against Chris Benoit, Bret Hart pulled out a pair of brass knuckles and hit Benoit while the referee was distracted. However, instead of immediately putting his opponent in the sharpshooter, Bret Hart made it look like Benoit had covered him, completely gaslighting the referee. The Styles Clash is a devastating move, but one wrestler found a simple way to make the finisher completely useless. During a match between Kevin Knight and Will Ospreay, Ospreay went for a Styles Clash. However, Kevin Knight simply crossed his arms, not allowing Will Ospreay to hook them and hit the move. While not technical, this next move was pretty sneaky. On Raw, Gunther was facing off against AJ Styles. AJ locked in the calf crusher, but then randomly let go, even though the ring general hadn't submitted. Well, actually, Gunther had tapped out, but did it so that the referee didn't see it. This allowed Gunther to free himself and eventually get the win.
That's smart, Gunther.
Almost 10 years earlier, The Undertaker used the same trick when he fought Brock Lesnar. The dead man tapped out where the referee wasn't looking, which caused Lesnar to lower his guard and give The Undertaker the victory. At TLC 2009, D-Generation X defeated Big Show and Chris Jericho to become the WWE Tag Team Champions. The following night on Raw, the former champs received their automatic championship rematch. However, DX didn't really feel like wrestling that night, but they also didn't want to forfeit the titles, so they found a clever workaround. Once the bell rang for the rematch, Triple H and Shawn Michaels got themselves disqualified. Not only did they not break a sweat, but since it was a DQ, they remained the WWE Tag Team Champions. I wish that's how my job worked. At the 2012 Extreme Rules pay-per-view, Sheamus and Daniel Bryan clashed in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Sheamus wound up winning the first fall, but not in the way you would expect. Daniel Bryan began kicking Sheamus's left arm. The referee eventually had no choice but to disqualify Bryan and award the first fall to Sheamus. However, this left the Celtic Warrior injured, which allowed Bryan to apply the yes lock and win the second fall. In late 1999, Devon Dudley found himself in the ring against Kurt Angle. You would think Devon made the dumbest move possible when he challenged the Olympic gold medalist to a freestyle wrestling contest. However, it was actually pretty smart. Once Kurt Angle got on his knees, Devon instead gave Angle a kick to the ribs and took control of the match. To make things even sweeter, Devon and his tag team partner Bubba went on to win the whole thing. Now, I'm honestly surprised nobody thought of this sooner. In 2025, WWE was graced by the presence of El Grande Americano. He was an interesting fellow who used his head. Literally. During matches, Americano slid a piece of metal inside his mask, which almost guaranteed that his opponents would be knocked out when he headbutted them. And the referee had no clue. Now, I bet you didn't know, there are a number of rules, both written and unwritten, that masked wrestlers need to follow. To find out what they are and what the punishment is for breaking them, watch the video.
Alright man, that's gonna do it. If y'all enjoyed that reaction video, make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. These were some WIQ moments, I ain't gonna lie.